Democracies are built on an assumption that emergencies eventually end. Wars are won. Extraordinary powers are surrendered. Normal life returns. But what happens when the war lasts 300 years? In the Hollow Armada universe, that question gave birth to one of humanity's most important and most controversial legal foundations, the Preservation Act. The fall of Texania. When the sovereign offensive reached Texania, humanity wasn't simply losing another world. It was losing its capital. Texania had been the political and cultural heart of the Exodus Alliance since the Bloom era. It was where governments met, where laws were written, where the future was imagined. As orbital bombardments spread across its great cities, the Senate realized something terrifying. The war they believed could be contained had become existential. Keystone Station escaped through recursion fold. The government survived, but the old assumptions did not. Emergency powers. In the days that followed, the Senate began passing emergency legislation. Some laws mobilized industry, others expanded military authority. Some centralized logistics, others preserved knowledge that might otherwise be lost forever. None of these measures were intended to become permanent. They were extraordinary powers, written for extraordinary times. A growing legal foundation. But the war continued. Years became decades. Decades became centuries. Every new crisis demanded another amendment, another exception, another emergency authorization. Over time, people stopped referring to individual statutes. Instead, they simply called it the Preservation Act. Not because it was one law, but because it had become the legal foundation upon which the Alliance now stood. Impossible decisions. Many of the institutions that define the modern Exodus Alliance trace their authority back to this framework. The Hollow Program, the Navigator Corps, Continuity Preservation, the Internal Compliance Directorate, emergency industrial partnerships with corporations like Valnexa. None of these would likely have existed in peacetime, yet after centuries of war, they became ordinary. The price of survival. This is where the Preservation Act becomes difficult to judge. Without it, humanity may not have survived. Keystone might never have become a mobile capital. The Vanguard may never have existed. Entire worlds could have been abandoned. But every emergency law carries a hidden cost, because every power granted during a crisis is a power that must eventually be surrendered, unless the crisis never ends. The paradox. 300 years after Texania fell, no senator remembers life before the Preservation Act. Entire generations have been born beneath its authority. Citizens grow up assuming these institutions have always existed. To them, emergency law isn't exceptional. It is simply government. Conclusion. The Preservation Act isn't the story of a dictatorship, nor is it the story of corruption. It is the story of a civilization that kept choosing survival, one compromise at a time, until no one could remember which compromises were supposed to be temporary. That is the quiet tragedy of the Exodus Alliance. Not that it abandoned its ideals, but that it has spent 3 centuries trying to preserve them at any cost. Next time, we'll examine another institution born from the Preservation Act, the Internal Compliance Directorate, the agency responsible for ensuring humanity remained itself, even as the war slowly changed what humanity meant.